Hey all. If you have a little bit of drone anxiety like I do, you're probably afraid to try new things with the drone. So I thought I'd put this video together of the return to home feature on the Mavic 3 and the Mini SE. They both perform great. They both work great. The Mavic 3, I swear, when it returned back, it landed in the exact same spot as where it took off. I tried it with that one twice, and I tried the Mini SE 3 times. The Mini SE had some problems landing back on the platform. I had to manually land it twice out of the 3 times, I think. I'm not sure. But this isn't a tutorial of how to do that. It's just show you that it does work because, if you get disoriented or whatever and you need your drone to come back, you can feel confident that it does work. It works well, actually. So watch the video and let me know if you have any questions. So for the first test, I just used some old workout mats I had laying around. I just put those together as a platform for the Mavic 3 to land on. So I've tried this out before, trying to land in the grass, and it automatically detects that it's not level and it doesn't want to land in the grass. So I put that down to level it up a little bit, and so it'd have a surface to land. So on this video, this is the of the Maverick test. This is the only one that I go all the way out. I only went out about 700 or 800 feet. Uh, I think the first I went was 900 feet on all the tests. So I let this one go all the way out, and now I've hit the button for the return to home, and it's completely taken over now. I'm not doing anything. All I'm doing is holding the controller, and you're going to see it comes directly back, and where it lands is just amazing to me. I swear it landed in the exact same place that it took off. So you'll see that here in a minute when it gets all the way back. And as far as the gimbal on the camera, I'm controlling that right now. Once it gets back and it gets so far down, it automatically takes over the gimbal and turns it back up. And you'll see that here in a minute also. So that's another thing. The Mavic 3, it automatically turns itself around to land. So it literally puts itself back in the exact same spot that it came from. And I was just shocked by how accurate this thing was. I've seen other videos that it wasn't this accurate, but mine seemed to land in the exact same spot. And it's all doing this by itself. I'm not doing this. So here we are on test 2. And what I meant in the last clip as far as flying it all the way out, I flew them all the way out. All the tests went 7, 8, 900 feet, whatever. But I edited the video so you just see it go out a little bit and then turn around and come back, just to shorten the video up, because all of them took the same path. So it's getting ready to go up and go out and take that same path that the last test took. Now I've hit the return to home button, and it's getting ready to come back. So this Maverick 3, it took the exact same path back, and you'll see when it gets all the way back where it lands. It just seems to be in the exact same spot. That bird was a little closer. I was comfortable with. I always worry about that. I always worry about a bird knocking this thing out of the sky. Hadn't happened yet, but they've come close. Haven't had one attack it yet. So as you can see, it's taking the exact same path. It turns itself around, and the Mini 3, or the Mini SE, doesn't do that. This one does. It turns itself around and then lands in the exact same spot that it came from. Super accurate. And now it automatically takes the camera over and pushes the camera back up to level. And there you go. Here it comes down. And these are two different videos, but it just seems like it's landing in the exact same spot. So like I did for the Mavic 3 test, this first test, I take it all the way out, or at least you can see it go all the way out. I don't edit it out like I did the other ones. So then you can tell, this is a little bit, well, quite a bit cheaper than the Mavic 3. This is the Mini SE, and you can tell the difference in the camera. They're both set at 1080p, but you can tell the difference in the camera. But that's not what the test is about. The test is about return to home. So, and it's still got a good picture, just not as good as the Mavic 3. But there again, this is a good starter drone. Big price difference. So here we go again, same path. This one, I think I went out 900 feet on this one. And I've hit the button, and now it's flying itself. I'm not doing this. It's returning to home on its own. And you'll see when it gets back, it's not anywhere close to as accurate as the Mavic 3 when it lands. But it returns to home, so that's the point. That's what I wanted to test, and that part of it works really well. And once again, I'm adjusting the gimbal on this, but it does the same as the Mavic 3. When it gets so close to the ground, it takes it over and automatically levels it for you. And this one does not turn itself around. It just lands wherever you bring it down, or actually it brings itself down. This one gets close. It's not. It gets close to the mat. This landing isn't too bad. It almost goes off of it, but it catches the corner of it. Not too bad. Not too bad for a starter drone. So here we go again with test 2, the Mini SE. And this one I cut out the trip down to the trees, and just I'm just showing the return to home button when I hit the return to home button. So now it's taken over again, and it's going to take the same path back. I believe this is probably the one I went the highest on. I'm up about 200 feet on this one. Then you're going to see when this comes down, it had a little trouble. It was odd because it was going to land in the grass, and this thing before has said that it doesn't want to land because it's not a level surface. But for some reason it was going to land, so I had to take it over to get it to land on the mat. So this one's a little off, but it did return home, and that was the point. As long as it gets back to me, I can get it back down on the ground. So now it's going to level the camera. And this is where it come down. It was going to let it go all the way down and land in the grass. So I hit it and took it back over and then moved it back towards the mat so it'd have a level landing surface. But once again, it came home. So if I ever got in trouble with it, I'm confident that it'll come back to me. So now we're on to test 3, and I can say they were all successful tests. They all returned home. Maverick 3 performed way better than I thought it would. It was super accurate. This one's accurate as far as getting back to its spot. It just doesn't. It's not as accurate as landing on the mat, but that's not a concern. All I wanted to make sure was that they came home and were close. So here I went out, same distance, hit the button, the return home to button, and now it's taking the same path back. And as you'll see when it gets back, this was a little odd. It when it was coming down, it looked like it was going to land perfectly on the mat. It was the best of the three landings, but for some reason it detected it. It thought it was going to land on an uneven surface, whereas the one before was going to land in the grass, and it was going to go ahead and land. This one stopped itself, thinking it was uneven surface, and I had to bring it down and land it manually. So you'll see here when it comes down. But the return home works. So that's all I'm concerned about. I can get it back on the ground as long as it gets back to me. So once again, I'm not doing this. It's doing it all itself. It's landing itself. I'm just watching the screen. And it'll push the camera up like all the other ones did. It'll level the camera. So here it's coming down. Looks like it's going to be a perfect landing, and it stops itself. Thinks that it's an uneven surface, where it was going to actually land right in the center of that mat. It's hard to tell from that angle, but it was right in the center of it. So I took it over and landed it like it wanted me to. No big deal. But I'd like to say thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.